Alright, in this tutorial I'm going to make an elastic seam around the waist here. There's all kinds of ways you can do it, and there's all kinds of options. We're going to be using this displacement brush here in a second, and for me to use this I got to sacrifice and increase the polygons. Let's say I don't want to increase the polygons on the whole thing, just want part of it. So if I wanted to do the waistband, I would select here and select down here. Before I do anything, let's go to preference and let's turn on display edges again. We'll be turning that back off here with the displacement brush here in a second. The reason why I got them kitty corner like that, because sometimes it won't. I'll give you an example. If I select here and here and try looping it and loop it again, don't go in the direction I want. So I'll kitty corner it, loop it, and if it doesn't loop like you want it, like this, press the button again. And if you don't want to subdivide the whole thing and you just want to have the waistbands separate, you can just Control C and Control V that. And I'm just going to bring this up out of the way right here and just give this a new material so we can kind of see. And we'll need to increase the geometry here, so we can go to number 1 and hit the lightning bolt like that. And at this time we can select one edge here and loop all the way down, then ring it. Then over here on the right hand side, if you can't see this one over, pull the palette down and just go to one here. Alright, then we're going to scale out something like this, and you can use all these tools right here to do different things, and you can subdivide it, and you can kind of see how that works. Alright, we'll just go ahead and hide that one for right now. I want to make a seam right here with the right here on the same spot, but I want it part of the pants, okay? So I will loop this, selection, invert, and let's hide that right there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn on the transparency, right click all over these right here. I'm going to do quad tessellation, and when I hit it, it just came back, so we're just going to have to manually do the rest of them, I guess. Alright, you got a kitty corner of these here, loop it. You're going to have to build this up quite a bit. Use quad tessellation. I think I got to do it 2 more times, should do the trick. Loop it, and we'll do it 1 more time. Loop it. Alright, this should give us enough geometry to use for this UV and displacement brush. Now if I click this, make sure we're in object mode, if I select it, now see what's happening? All the edges are in the way. That's why you go back into the preference editor under 3D display, selection, uncheck display edges. Now this one kind of gave it a rib, so I don't know if that did it naturally, but if not, remember how I first did it from the start? You can make it like that, okay? So with that said, we're going to go ahead and use the displacement, and the brush size seems to help pretty big, and if it's a little bit large, and the strength. So that's with these settings here. This is alpha that I loaded and made myself. This is the one down here. You load it here. It's a PNG file. Then to produce a image, then you build a thumbnail. Okay. Now once I have that done and loaded, let's bring this up a little bit here. This is basically, I'm just clicking on it. See, it's really not affecting the bottom of the pants a whole lot because there's not a whole lot of geometry. And it's not looking too bad. Not too bad. Alright, we're going to be switching brushes here, so to switch a brush up here, just go ahead and validate that. Don't jump over and switch to another brush. There's all different brushes you can use to soften. Let's say the seam here is just a little too much or something like that. You can soften that up or whatever you want to do. Alright, I'm gonna abort that. That's not a problem. Let's say I want a little seam right somewhere right in here. So what I'll do is we'll loop this here, and you can scale this in if you drag the scroll mouse wheel, because you grab the cube here, sometimes it just goes too much, so just use your scroll mouse wheel and click back and validate it. And now see, now the seam's too big. I don't like the seam too big, so what I'll do is Control Z that, and then I'm going to use this vertex and use this one that split arrow right here in this edge tool, and I'm going to pull it apart just a little bit right here. And when I let go, it's still highlighted, but it put two edges on each side of it, and then we'll do that again and validate it. And we have a kind of a seam like that, which is kind of cool. You can put seams anywhere you want in it. Let's put one right about here. I'll just recap this. We'll loop this, use the split arrow. I'll put a real small one here and let go. Probably won't even be able to see it in the video when I just did that, but it's so small, this is what I want anyway. And you can have something like that, which is kind of cool. If you want to soften out that seam a little bit here, just like I said, you can go back into the some of these right here, and we can just soften that up, which looks a little bit more natural right here. You don't want it to you'll have a little problem down here at the bottom, because this is the low polygons down here and the higher ones up here. But I'm having a pretty good, looking pretty good here, and I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I'm just going to just do a little bit right there. And validate it. And that's how you would make that. See, it got a little distorted here. Hey, it's not a problem. I shouldn't have went down that far. Not a problem. But anyway, that should give you an idea how to make elastic band. And if you didn't want to do it on the pants, like I said, you can just go ahead and turn on the other one, and just now you're just working on this one here. Let's take a look at the polyframe mode here. Let's hide this other one here. Instead of doing the vertex modeling and free tessellate, all you got to do is increase the geometry and clap the lightning bolt, and it just adds some more to it. So you can do this many times as you want. And then if you want to go back into your preference, display selection and edges here, you can do an adjustment right there. Of course, I got edge mode here, so I should switch that back. And we go into the UV and paints. And I need to select the object first. This might be a little bit better, because what happened is this is only the polygons right here. If you want to make it separate, it's something for your preference if you want to do that. Then you can bring it back down and put it where you want. That's if you want to. Of course, you'll have some problems where you'll have to probably take an edge here and loop it, and hold the control key and kind of maybe scale it in so it doesn't show so much. Anyway, thank you very much.